Hi guys, and welcome back. It's your girl, Yummy.com. Thank you for joining me, my internet friends. This video is a little bit long overdue, a little bit past tense. It took me a while to record it because I scattered my thoughts. But I went to LA! I went to LA for the first time, a city I swore I would never go to because of one singular reason: BTS.
Kim Namjoon, Kim Seokjin, Min Yoongi, Jang Ha-sun, Park Ji-hye, Kim Se-yeon, Cha Jung-kook.
BTS!
Yes, okay? But this video is not just about that. If you want to see just my concert experience compilation without me talking, I have a video for that. I'll link it down below. But this is to talk and discuss about my feelings and situations and thoughts about LA, the LA concert, LA Army, just all of the things that happened there, and how I truly do feel about them. Well, I know what you're thinking. Yummy,
It's been a while. Why did it take you so long to recover?
well, I had a different concert experience than most people, I think. I was there and I didn't go feral. I was just really pretty calm, chill, and then as the days passed, Yoongi started eating at my ear and kept going and going. But first, let's start off at the beginning. I had the same terrible experience as most of you had trying to get tickets for Ticketmaster. I had to try multiple days in a row. I missed multiple appointments, had to reschedule stuff, and I finally did get a floor seat ticket, a section C3 ticket. It was like pretty dead center. It was a little bit off kilter, but it was like still super close. But I had a terrible experience buying tickets. It was the worst. I had an extra ticket which I sold, and so that some other army can enjoy it as well. So yeah, so I got to see them live, and I bought my ticket.
I bought my ticket from Ticketmaster the nightmare of all nightmares.
And then came the buying of the hotel and the flight, I guess you would say. And so there was like a lot of options here. Like, do I fly what I usually fly, Delta, or do I like what are the ticket prices going to be? Like, it's going to be super high because everyone's going to LA. But I ended up, going with Delta. I am a Delta girl. I'm sorry, John Mulaney.
Because we're Delta Airlines and life is a fucking nightmare.
On top of that, I had booked, I was about to book a hotel with my friend Emerald, who was coming with me to LA, just so I didn't get child trafficked or human trafficked, because I'm not a child anymore. But so I didn't get human trafficked. My friend and roommate Emerald was going to be with me for the entire journey, which made me really happy. But she wasn't coming to the concert. So we were trying to figure out what hotel to get in this situation. We found like a boutique hotel that seemed pretty reasonably priced.
Circus, Afro circus, Afro.
It was reasonably priced. It was like a boutique hotel. I think it was kind of newer, and so like we were gonna go there. But as we were going to buy the hotel room, it charged us a resort fee, and we were not having that. Super sorry about it, but we were not having a resort fee for a boutique hotel. If you don't fly or travel a lot, you can know the difference between boutique hotels and kind of chain hotels, and those are the others. And like a lot of the times, I'm not sure, but a lot of the times you don't want to be charged a resort fee for something that isn't truly a resort. So because we're super cheap, we were like, yeah, we're not doing that. Let's find another hotel. So we ended up finding a killer deal for the Hollywood Roosevelt. The Hollywood Roosevelt is a pretty famous hotel. It's like haunted. Some people have done like ghost stories there, but they say it's haunted by Marilyn Monroe, but it's not really. But it is a very famous hotel, and we did not realize how famous it was, and how it was super located within like all of the travelisty, touristy things that you want to do when you go to LA. And it ended up being super amazing. So we booked that hotel. We got a cabana room, which was really nice. So we had like a direct entrance to the pool, which was amazing. The hotel was beautiful. We flew out on Thanksgiving because we just thought it'd be cheaper and there'd be less traffic on actual Thanksgiving. And we flew back on Monday because girls gotta work, girls gotta eat, girls gotta work to eat, work to eat or work to pay for BTS tickets. Like only two things I gotta do. So really, so We ended up booking the Hollywood Roosevelt, which was amazing. It turned out to be an amazing experience there. The pool was beautiful. It was like legendary. It was right outside of the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Like, so like if you're a fan of Lion Babe, which I and both me and my roommate are, you know that her mother is Vanessa Williams, who was like the former Miss America, just a sensational actress. I think she was in Ugly Betty and she was super amazing. Love her. But that's her mother. So if you like Lion Babe or Vanessa Williams, it was directly outside. Her star was directly outside of a hotel, and it was amazing. Again, I keep saying amazing because it just really was a great experience at the Hollywood Roosevelt. Everyone was super sweet there. I highly recommend you go stay there. Like, the staff was amazing. It was very comfortable. The room was very sweet. We only got one bed because we're chill. Like, we've been roommates for years, so like we're chill. It was like super kind. Like, I cannot stress how kind and sweet and nice the staff was. Shout out to Ty, Ross, the whole gang there. Like, everyone there was amazing. I ended up finding out that, actually, fun fact, I have a favorite show that I think you probably know about if you watch my channel a lot, which is called Stitchers on Freeform, and I love that show so much. But if you are a fan of that show as much as me, one of the people I met at the Hollywood Roosevelt who worked there was actually on the show, and he was one of my favorite characters. He was super low-key. It was him and the Alex, and I cannot remember the guy, big burly curly hair. Those two characters that were always in the lab, but always super amazing and super great, and I loved them. He was there. I highly recommend you check him out. He's amazing. Met some really cool people. Ty, he's a writer. Like, just really cool, amazing people. And so I really love the experience of staying at the Hollywood Roosevelt. That's gonna wrap up the hotel section. Like, it was amazing, it was great, it was beautiful. I will show some video that I took. We had a beautiful dinner on Thanksgiving at the Barish, which is inside of the Hollywood Roosevelt. We went bowling at the upstairs spare room, had like lots of drinks. It was amazing. The DJ was sickening. She was amazing, playing all the hits. And then, but before we got to the hotel, obviously there was a flight. So I got onto the flight. I was wearing my BTS Anpanman shirt, which is one of my favorite shirts. It's super low-key, but it's like retro and it's like super energetic, and it's still BTS. And a couple people did wave me down who were on our flight and were like, oh my god, I love your shirt, I'm going to the concert, what day? So I made a couple friends on the flight, which was super amazing. And then also, like, I saw a lot of people with like Chimmy keychains and RJs, little stuffed RJs and things like that, like super subtle BTS merch. So it was like a nice little bonding experience, and I really loved it. Yeah, so back to the next part of our journey. The hotel we were staying at, as I said, was very central of like the main part of Hollywood. It's like right across the street from the Chinese theater. Like Adobe Theater is there as well, and the Hollywood Walk of Fame is literally all up and down where we were. Eventually there was a Hollywood parade that like blockaded our hotel a little bit, but like it wasn't their fault. But one of the things that I didn't know that was near our hotel is the BTS line store. Now, when I tell you this line was wrapped around the block every day that I was there, except for the first day on Thanksgiving because they closed early, it was insane, this line. Like, I never got to go into the BTS line store because the line was entirely too long, and we had planned out so many fun, fresh, and cool activities to do that I just didn't have time to like go into the line store. But the line for the line store was legit like waist deep long, so I hope BTS made a pretty penny profit off of that, at least for that week. It's super amazing. It was you got to see like the little, there's like a giant tata that you can see from the outside. It's just really cool, and really a great experience. So our first day, day one, we came in. Emerald had a little headache, so she took a nap. I went to the coffee shop, met some BTS fans outside the line store, chilled, got their numbers, met a lot of BTS people, like amazing people. So went to go get her coffee, like we chilled a little bit, stayed inside a little bit, wandered the hotel for a little bit, and then we finally got dressed up for dinner. She got dressed up, I got dressed down. I was like kind of really rocking this. I was trying to rock my job, you know, real hard. So I got this. I have this Outcast jersey that I really love because I love ATLiens, I love Outcast, so I was repping that. So we had dinner, it was really chill. We didn't know what to do next, so we were kind of like, we were supposed to go bowling, but bowling was closed. LA Strikes was closed, which is also super close to our hotel. So we ended up going to this speakeasy called the Rogers Room, and the drinks were so amazing there. I wish I had a video of how talented these bartenders were. It was like being in a true 1920s speakeasy, the skill that they were pouring these drinks with. I had my first Death in the Afternoon, which I've always wanted to try. I highly don't recommend it if you don't like licorice, because I don't like licorice, and I had it and I was like, Hemingway was a jackass. He was an asshole, and he was a psychopath for drinking this all the time, because this is super licoricey. But I did have other drinks. It was amazing. We had shots, and we met some really cool people, met more BTS people, which was amazing. We were just crawling around the city. Now we move on to day 2.
How the hell did I get caught up messing with these LA girls?
Day 2, we went to the Griffith Observatory. So we actually were trying to get tacos at this taco truck, Leo's Taco Truck. I think it's pretty famous, but we weren't able to find the taco truck, I guess because it was Black Friday, so they weren't there. But we ended up finding this amazing Thai place, and it's called Jitlada. It's amazing. It was on apparently Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dashes. That's not how you say it. Drives, Diners, and Drive-Ins.
Welcome back. Triple D is here at Jitlada in Hollywood with my great friends Jet Tila, Super Chef, and Artie Sequeira, Curry's sister from another mister, but most importantly, Queen Jazz.
Dinner, Drives, and Dive-Ins, I'm not sure, but it's hosted by everyone's favorite blonde, Guy Fieri. And so we were able to go to that restaurant. The food was delicious. The waiter was delicious. It was super amazing. We had blue crab curry, which was like tasty and delicious. We had roasted duck, which was amazing. The food there is amazing. I highly recommend you go check it out, and it's on the way to the Griffith Observatory, which is where we ended up going. Unpopular opinion, Griffith Observatory is entirely too overhyped. It is very trek to get there. It's like there's a bus, which is fine. Bus gets really full because obviously most people want to see the Hollywood sign. That you can see it from the observatory. And I'm sure if you like went into the observatory, we didn't ever actually make it into the observatory to see like the planetarium or anything, but we went around the Griffith Observatory, went up the stairs, which was a feat for me because I am scared of heights. Yeah, I know. We took some pictures by the Hollywood sign. This is near the Hollywood sign. We went up the observatory. We saw it. It was beautiful. We literally lasted like 30 minutes there, and we were like, let's go home. Let's go home. Let's change. Let's refresh. And like, we also were trying to get Portos, but that didn't work out either for some reason. So we went home refreshed, and then we got dressed in our regalia. One of the things you're going to notice is that me and Emerald have very distinct, different color palettes. Unlike on this channel where you see me in very colorful things, usually the most colorful thing I'll wear out in real life is my wigs. Because I like a black sleek look. It just makes me look thinner. I am a little weight conscious, so it makes me look thinner. It makes me feel thinner. So I do like wearing a lot of black. I do like wearing a lot of lace. So I like to layer that. So it's a lot of black and white is what I usually go for in a look. And you can see that in these photos that I'm probably going to show and populate. But me and Emerald literally were dressed up like different people for each day. Like she was the bright and colorful, and I was the dark and moody, and it was amazing. It's like that TikTok where it's like a goth and a bimbo, a goth and a bimbo. I was the goth, she was the bimbo. And with that being said, we went to the LACMA, which beautiful. We didn't go inside. Again, we're not inside people, so we didn't go inside the LACMA. We didn't see President Obese or anything, but we went to the Urban Lights, which was a very, or is, if this is still up when this is up, is a big installation with lights. It's very beautiful. We took some lovely pictures out there. Some people who have been there, Lee Min Ho, he was there the week before, and also Aquafina was at our hotel the week before, which whatever, crazy. So like, you know, Lee Min Ho's been there, like a bunch of people have been there. Roll the list if I have one. And after the LACMA, we were like, okay, we're hungry, so let's go to K-Town to get food. Like, what do we want? We had the options of like knife cut noodles. We were deciding between knife cut noodles and duck barbecue, and we ended up going with knife cut noodles because it was open a little bit later and it was already like 8 or 9 by the time we like had finished getting ready and everything. And we filmed the TikTok before we left for the LACMA, of course. Insert here.
Doing this to me, girl. Not to be dramatic, but I wanna die. This bitch got me paying her rent, paying for trips, diamonds on her neck, diamonds on her wrist, and here I am all alone.
But for K-Town, we went to, I cannot remember the name. It's like NK. It's like an initial thing. It has a longer name, but it has initials. And I will put the name here if I can find it. But it was the most delicious knife cut noodles. The bowls were as big as our heads. They had dumplings. I ordered like just the chicken soup with the knife cut noodles, and we had dumplings to share. We had a bottle of soju. We were just bawling back and forth. It was great. It was tasty. It was delicious and affordable too. It was super affordable, which was amazing. From there, we ended up going to a bar. I cannot remember the name of the bar. Oh my gosh. It's something. If I remember it again, my memory is blanking, but if I remember it, I will put the name here. But it was a really cool bar. It was chill. It wasn't the vibe we were looking for necessarily. We were trying to find some hotties, really. And not to say there weren't hot people, but there were just a lot of couples in that place. But it was cool. The drinks were cool. They were tasty. They were interesting. We met some really nice people outside who were going to play volleyball on Sunday, and it was amazing. They were super nice. They bought us drinks. They were super kind. Zach Fox was there. If you're not familiar with Zach Fox, he's a rapper. One of his most notable songs, to me at least, is Bane, which is great. It's an amazing song.
We gon' jump out the whip. Brand new Glock, got a dumbass clip. Move out the way, look, dumbass bitch. Beating down the block like bang. Beating down the block like bang. Beating down the block like bang. Beating down the block like bang.
It was great. It was really cool. We went to another place after that I still can't remember. I think it was like Dae-chan. It was Dae something, but it was like a kind of an anju place, like for the Korean anju place, where we had like skewers and we had more soju, we had makgeolli, we drank and we had fun. There was a Korean karaoke place next door, but because we were already out so late, it was like closing down and we would only have like half an hour there. Which brings me to my next point of the things that I hate about LA, that I will, maybe I'll put a pin in it and save it for the end. But yeah, it was just amazing. It was super fun. I would definitely go there. I would definitely go to all those places again, but I would switch up the order. I'd probably still go to the knife cut noodle place, then I'd go to the anju place next, and then I would go to the bar that we went to, and then maybe find another bar as well, hopefully in the vicinity. But yeah, so that was day 2. Day 3, we were ready. I was ready because that was the day of the BTS concert, so I was fidgety all day. I was freaking out, fidgety and worried and everything, and because I was like, oh my god, what if Suga sees me and he's
Like, oh my god, she's so ugly. Oh my god, she's disgusting.
or what if he's like, I want that one, which was my better option and I wish would. But before that, we went to the Ivy for brunch. Do not recommend it. I'm so sorry, the Ivy. I don't recommend it. The brunch was like pretty decent. It was probably the most expensive meal we had, and it was honestly the least satisfying we had, because it was just like, I had like a lobster omelet situation that was really good. It was okay. It was underflavored. The drinks were okay. The people were weird. Like the guys next to us were like so chatty and annoying. Well, one of them was. The other one was just engaging. But yeah, so it was just very uncomfortable a little bit, and like the food wasn't that great, and you know, so yeah, so then we ended up walking a little bit. We passed like a Chanel store, we browsed or whatever, not like we were gonna buy anything.
Travel with me, don't you wanna get away, don't you wanna run away, so on time. And in the air, I wanna show you happiness and show you all my colors to you. Just tell me you love me, then I'll give you everything. There will be the best part of me.
But then we went back to the hotel, which was cool, fun, and because we had a little bit of time in between, we went to the pool. So we went to the pool, just waited a little bit, you know, flip for a little bit, and then it was time to go to the concert. Emerald went to like dinner and a museum, and I went to the BTS concert. That experience, here we go. Let's talk about it, guys.
I swear to you, this will be your last day on this earth. Okay? I will.
The BTS concert was so overwhelming, and because we were day one, it was a hot.
Important. Well, f me.
I know, right? F you.
Freaking mess. I got there, I was gonna take a bus, but because of the Hollywood parade that was gonna happen on Sunday, the buses weren't really working properly, so I ended up just calling an Uber, which was like $40. It wasn't that bad. But yeah, so I called an Uber to Inglewood to the SoFi Stadium. I got down and it was a hot mess. No one knew where to go. They were pointing people in the wrong direction. None of the staff like understood what was going on. Like none of the staff had any information, and like that's not to say I didn't meet some great staff members at SoFi, because security team, those two dudes at the security team, if you see me and you see this, shout out to you. You helped me get fine water, which was amazing. But it was like super disorganized, which I guess they weren't expecting that magnitude of people to descend upon LA and SoFi, which was
Really on their part, good time to prepare.
But it was kind of very disorganized. I was sent to 4 to 5 different lines where eventually people would tell me that I'm in the wrong line, and then sometimes it turns out they were in the wrong line, they were telling me the wrong thing. I finally found some really cool people that I got to stay with in line and chill with. But eventually the stadium just gave up and let everyone in any line, and they didn't check my bag, they didn't check my Vax card, they did barely even check my ticket. They just saw that I had a floor seat, they saw C, and they were like, I guess you're going down there. And then eventually you descended upon the March of Death, I want to call it. It's like 10 floors down, honestly. It was so down, which makes sense because it's the floor of the stadium, but it was just, I wasn't prepared to walk that far down. But before I entered in, I got a drink, of course, and I went to my seat. I was seated next to like one girl in a butter costume and then these other 2 friends, which was cool, but I really wish I was seated with people like that I had met already, or like at least nearby, because it was like, as much as I like, and this is the thing that I think I feel differently about than a lot of people, and maybe not, maybe some people feel the same way as me. It was a very solo experience for me because I went alone, and that's on me. Like, I went alone. I don't really have a lot of army friends that I like we bought tickets together or anything. I have like online army friends, but I don't have like, you know, have you guys, but like not like whatever. But so like it was a very solo experience for me, and I didn't like that because it was like fun. We were all singing the music video stuff. Like when like the VCRs would come on, it would just feel like I was like alone, and it would, like, again, the boys were there, so like I like still love that, but it didn't connect the same way. And then a lot of the armies around me weren't like super like, you know, communicative or like cool. I think everybody was really focused on doing their own thing, which is fine, which is great, which is dandy, but that was just kind of how I was feeling. But of course, when the boys came out each and every time, they brought it, they played the bangers, they did the hits. It was amazing. It was similar to the online concert that happened the month before, so like I was really ready and prepared for all the music that happened. I can't lie, I was immediately feeling like, as soon as it was over, I immediately felt this overwhelming sadness come about me. And I think that has more to do with the fact that it was over, and I felt like it went by so quickly, and I missed everything, and like I didn't get to like, you know, communicate and like chill with people. And then I couldn't also get out to get more drinks. Maybe it was like, maybe if I'm more tipsy, I can talk to more people, like be more social or whatever, but I couldn't. But the concert was amazing. Concert ever. I'm sure if I see them again, and maybe I see them with a friend as well, it would be a better experience. But I did like the concert. I still love the concert. I still adore the boys. I'm honestly like thinking like, yo, y'all all came out of this concert Yoongi stands, and I'm gonna need y'all to back up. Like, also welcome to the club, but like back up. That's my man, but like also welcome to the club. Cause like he was giving us everything. All the boys were super happy, super excited, giving us everything. But something about Yoongi on day one was giving me sexual everything. Like, watch my jawline work everything. Like, I am your father everything. Like, you are my son everything. And it was too much for my soul to compute at the time. And when I look back at videos, it is distracting as hell. Also, I love that he gave his speech in Korean. It was just beautiful. I love it when they speak Korean, just because I feel like they are more able to be free-flowing. In the same way that I, like, if I were to try and speak Korean, it'd probably be like very structured and like, you know, not as like free-flowing conversation, because, you know, your girl's learning, not well, but she's learning. I feel the same way for the opposite. Like, I feel like, you know, when they're speaking in Korean, they're a lot funnier and like, you know, just a lot more like, you know, them, but like it was still sweet. They did a lot of stuff in English. You could tell that they rehearsed their English really well. It was really sweet, and it made me feel really special. The worst part of the concert, other than, you know, the beginning when we were all like walking through and couldn't find anything, was leaving the concert. I think also the problem is I'm a small venue kind of girl. I like to go to small places, like Brooklyn Trade, like, you know, like smaller elsewhere, smaller condensed venues where I feel like I can really connect with the artist. This was a big stadium. I wasn't prepared. I haven't been to a big stadium concert since, I think, Demi Lovato in college, and that was a garbage experience. No offense to Demi. Maybe offense to Demi. It wasn't a great concert. Saw Little Mix. Missed Little Mix. But I haven't been to a stadium concert since like then. So like it was a lot for me. But we were all exiting at the same time. It really felt like sardines packed in a jar, and it was really kind of scary because like it's like it brought me back, not to like bring this to me or anyone else's tragedy, but it was like if someone wanted to mow us down like outside of the BTS concert with a gun,
we would all be dead.
like it was so packed and like crazy trying to get out. People were trying to find their rides. I was gonna call Uber. My phone was dying, but my Uber was like gonna be like $200, and I was like, I'll take a bus. So I ended up taking a bus with some ARMY, which was cool. Ended up on the bus watching the V Live like off someone else's phone. Eventually made it home and went to the spare room, which was open, and it was like that's where all the bowling and the drinks and the great DJ happened, and it was super amazing and I loved it. Now that's my BTS talk, and that's the last I will bring them up. Maybe day 4.
California girls were unforgettable. Daisy Dukes bikinis on top.
We went to the Santa Monica Pier. We were supposed to wake up early and go to the Getty, but we slept in because, again, we got so drunk at the spare room. And so we ended up, we were trying to call Portos, but Portos closed for some reason. Don't know why. Disappointing me on every turn, Portos. But we ended up getting Egg Tuck, which was just super delicious, creamy eggs, lovely to taste, like beautiful. We just had it delivered to our hotel room, which was amazing. It was lovely, it was beautiful. Then we ended up getting dressed, we got ready for the Santa Monica Pier, and again, we kept up the consistency of the look of the goth and the bimbo. We took the train to the Santa Monica Pier, because you know, we're New Yorkers, public transport people, so we took the train there. It was amazing. It was just really a great time. We went to the end of the pier. I was feeling a little woozy because of all the water and I can't swim, but we went to the end of the pier. We watched the sunset at the pier, which was amazing, and then we ended up going into the actual ride section. That was amazing, and we rode some roller coasters.
So smooth like the car I ride. Even your best party planner couldn't catch this vibe. Big boss and I make a hater stay on their job, and I be on these girls' necks like the back of their bobs. Houston's finest in the room with bouncers. Make them all get ratchet in their suits and blouses. I remember writing flows in my room in college. Now I need global entry to the shows I'm rocking. Smooth like cocoa butter, my drip more than a puddle. They know that I'm the wave. Take over every summer. They must be giving Stevie if they ever had to wonder. Cause every beat I get on get turned into Hubba Bubba.
And then we went home. We went home where In-N-Out was had.
Let me say something controversial yet brave, which we've really come to do on this channel.
Again, unpopular opinion, In-N-Out ain't that great. Y'all are wild. It's just a mayonnaise based sauce for the animal stuff, and then everything else tastes like regular McDonald's burgers, if we're being honest. But again, unpopular opinion. We tried to go out. We really tried. It was Sunday, there was a parade going on. We tried to go out, so we went to the lobby of our hotel, had drinks. We hunted a guy down in a 25 in the burger place. Like, we found this guy who's super cute. We were like, had this whole step plan that did not work out to try and get his number. Didn't work out, not because he wasn't like super sweet or like wanted to talk to us, but just because I get really nervous around boys, so I couldn't like continue. But we took shots, which was cool, and then we tried to go out again, but again, nothing was open. It was already, I don't know, nothing was open, or everything was dead, I guess because it was Sunday and people had to go to work the next day, and we weren't aware of that. So that wrapped up our 4th day.
You're in New York, I'm in LA.
And then our last day on Monday, we again woke up, ordered Portos finally, had Portos, it was super delicious.
It burns, it burns, it burns, when oceans away.
Went to the pool, had a super great time, photo shoot, filmed another TikTok a la Kardashian, and just like packed up our stuff and went on our merry way back to the airport, where I met a plethora of army going back to New York as well, and had lots of fun and chit chats. And that wraps up the LA experience day by day. I do have a couple things to say. The cons: LA closes entirely too early. It's just, it doesn't make sense for it to close at 2. Like it just, everything is closed down, and I guess I went there during Thanksgiving weekend, so maybe it was on me, but it just, everything seemed like super closed down, super dead, or whatever. 2, everything is super far apart. The one thing in New York that's great is that if you don't like a place, like, you can just walk out and go to another place. Like K-Town, for instance, in New York, it's literally 2 streets. In LA, it's like a whole square block radius, like, and everything, like, you know, shuts down around a similar time, and, you know, it makes it a little bit difficult. Anyways, you guys are insane. You guys are insane, because if you go to LA, I highly recommend you don't just Google things to do. You have to talk to people who are from there, or like have spent a lot of time there, and get their recommendations to see what's really popping.
What's popping? Brand new whip, just hopped in.
But because if you just Google things, you know, it may be a dead place. It may be a desert land. So those are my cons. Positives: I love the weather. It did get chilly at night, but I kind of like respected that, you know. And obviously the BTS, there was a lot of camaraderie there. And I do have a final con. Army, let's talk about this. This is our last BTS talk. It's the last thing I'm going to mention on this video. Army is just like any other sovereign nation. where there are amazing people in that nation who want to better and move it forward. But then you may meet some very mean people at a BTS concert in line when you're just confused trying to figure out what's going on as everyone else. And then they give you snarky looks, disgusting looks. I don't know what it was. Maybe I wore this wig, like just like this with the butterflies and everything. And I got a lot of compliments on it, like 25 to 30 compliments on my wig. Some people actually to take pictures with me. It was really, really sweet. But then I also got a lot of people who gave me dirty, disgusting looks. Who, when I would scream, would look at me like I was crazy. Who like just were really rude and disrespectful, and I don't like that. But I mean, I have to accept that, you know, ARMY is just like any sovereign nation. You know, sometimes people are not great in your fandom, and you learn that very quickly at a BTS concert. But then sometimes you find awesome camaraderie. But with that being said, I'm going to wrap up this LA talk with you. My name is Yami.com. Don't worry, I will be back, so stay tuned. And let me know if there is any other place you want me to visit. And BTS, if you're coming to New York, let's talk.